Announcements, February 15th, board meeting, 6:30, right here in the Catherine D. Milligan Community Room. And we'll move to board member comments. Mrs. Birding Miller.
I just wanted to thank Ms. Wilhelm and the entire music staff again for the presentation and bringing your students and sharing just that kind of glimpse into the program. It's such a treat for us to be able to have that connection with the students and the programs that we have. Also, I wanted to thank Billy for the great state of the district. I know that we make you compact in such small, and those are just barely the highlight reels, like not even all of them. And so I just wanted to really thank you for that. The thing that stuck with me most is just the impact that we have on our community and the impact they have back on us. It's a really amazing give and take relationship between the school district and the community, and we both work together to take care of each other's needs, and it's super spectacular. And I just think that's such highlighted in that wonderful presentation that you gave us. And then I wanted to, one last thing is just talk about how excited I am that we're going to be elevating some of our current employees up into better, more leadership positions for them. It really just shows the culture that we have here, that we are having people in our district wanting to give more to the district and betterment for those buildings and positions that they're in by coming up into other positions. So it really just shows the culture that we have here.
Great, thank you. Mr. Napier.
First off, I'd like to wish my wife a happy birthday.
Smart move.
Yep. I don't know if she watches this. Thank Billy for the presentation. As an employee here for 22 years, it's nice to see the other side. You guys do a great job here. As an employee, you don't really pay attention to who's doing what. You just come in, do your 8 hours, and go home. But the work you guys do is phenomenal. I just want to thank you for it.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Mrs. Gundrum.
I also wanted to thank the entire music department for the presentation tonight and everything you do every day. Like they said, music can change the world, and you can see it through the videos we watched tonight. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I also wanted to thank Mr. Smith for the wonderful State of the District presentation. I say it every year, but we sit here at meeting after meeting and we go, wow, that's a really nice story. Wow, it was really nice we got to see that or hear that or whatever. But then when you see the State of the District presentation, you go, wow. Like, wow, this is a really special place, and these are really special people that we're surrounded with. So thank you for reminding us of that through this presentation. And I'm always excited to see where we go next.
Thank you, Mrs. Gundrum. Ms. Clark.
Yeah, I want to thank the choir students for singing and the symphonic students for playing Mrs. Gundrum walk-up music. That was awesome. But it was, yeah, it's always great to hear those young kids, students, just show their talents off. Thank you, Ms. Wilhelm, for your presentation, your leadership, and to all the music team that teaches, coaches, mentors, sympathizes, empathizes with all the students. Everything that they said, again, is just, it's encouraging, it's emotional, it's collaboration. It's really more than sports, and it's a great program, so thank you for all you do. Mr. Smith, thank you for your presentation. Ms. Gundrum, I also put down wow, because that pretty much sums it up, and I know you kind of get some flack from everybody but me about how long it is. And
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Mr. Clark.
But you could just highlight on and on and on and on about the great things we have here, and you and your team do a great job with collecting all that and then presenting it. So thank you so much for doing that. And it was just wonderful. Our district just the best, and the back to school bash is my favorite too. I love that. From
awesome.
I think the first one I was a part of, and ever since, well, last year I didn't get to because I had some other things going on at that time.
Yes.
But it was always, it's a good program. It's great for the community. It's great to see every part of the school system involved. I know the year before last we went into the football field, and I assume we did that this year too.
We did.
It just keeps expanding, and like you
Yes.
said, wasn't sure who was going to come out the first year, but it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and better and better. And I think the community expects that, and the vendors love to come and be a part of that. It just shows the collaboration we have from the community, parents, and everything. So It's awesome. I also want to thank all the PTCs that raise funds for our students in the schools. You mentioned that in there. That's a huge part of again, our collaboration of our families, our community family. So that's a big piece. So thank you for all that. The pies in the face, some of the embarrassing that the winners might get from getting those funds raised, but it's all in good fun and all for a great cause. And Devin, congratulations to you for another award in your quill of awards that you have. So I'm glad you're here tonight too, and thank you for all you do for our students and for leading our seniors. Appreciate that. Last thing I have, I had a chance to attend the Prevention Youth Coalition Assembly last Friday at the freshman building. It was called You Make a Difference. And the Youth Coalition students the freshmen get up on stage, and they give a ribbon out to a teacher or a coach or a bus driver or a cafeteria worker, any facility worker that made a difference in their lives. And it's really impressionable because some of the kids get emotional, the teachers get emotional, but you make a difference just by saying hello or smiling or are you okay? You need to talk about it, just acknowledging them. That's a big piece for those freshmen to lead that, and then move on up in the Youth Coalition and see the middle schools be able to see that come through that too. It's a great bench in the middle schools and come on up through the high school to be a part of that Youth Coalition. So it was just great to see those kids honor their teachers for a change. So yeah, and that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Really echoing everyone's comments, right? It was a great presentation. Thank you to Mrs. Wilhelm for 22 years of service and the continuity that comes with that to our district, the culture that it builds with regards to the arts, right? And you know, the pandemic did all sorts of damage, indirect collateral damage like that, and so it is a focus, obviously, to rebuild that program and to bring it back. And certainly it's a great program now, but to rebuild the numbers is really what we want to do and give those opportunities to students. State of the Union, extremely well done. Thank you. I think a reoccurring theme throughout it, and Mr. Clark touched on it, was you create the culture, you create those opportunities, but it takes a whole lot of people that want to engage in that, ultimately volunteer, for lack of a better word. I'm talking about teachers, administrators, PTC, community members, right? To make all those things happen outside the classroom, but for the kids in the classroom, right? So really well done. Look forward to the second half of the year here and all that we have going. We will now recess to the executive session to discuss the employment and discipline of public employees, 121-22G1, court action, revised code 121-22G3, pending or imminent litigation. Do I have a motion to convene to executive session?
So
Make a
moved.
motion.
We'll go with Mr. Napier and
Second.
Mrs. Birding Miller. Mrs. Lang, call the roll.
Mr. Napier?
Yes.
Mrs. Birding Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundrum?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. We'll go my
We
place.
will convene to executive session at 8:02.
Go my place.